Hi everyone, today I'm gonna talk in this video about simple relationship red flags that people should examine when they are dating someone before deciding to marry them, because sometimes these red flags can escalate into major issues in relationships. If they can work through these red flags or accept these red flags as part of their partner's personality, then maybe it is workable. But many a times these red flags cannot be workable because the amount of energy or self-realization required to make things work when someone has personality traits like this is a very difficult challenge for people to overcome. I myself, I'm gonna show a couple's video, and it's not meant to just the way in which the interaction happens in the video is the reason why I'm posting that video. And while in this video the man was upset in the video, there are relationships where opposite genders or other genders couples could be present in the same interaction, or it could be a interaction between a father daughter or a mother son or two siblings, and similar interactions can transpire between people, which ends up making relationships harder to navigate if these are consistent patterns in relationships. So here in this video there was I'm presuming they are a couple, they are eating ice creams and or popsicle like thing, and she asked the boyfriend or what is the flavor he's eating, and he mentions his flavor. He asks what is the flavor you are eating, she mentions her flavor, and then she wants to share a bite, and he gets really pissed off at the end of the video. He's like, oh man, I knew you were gonna ask this. And this is a consistent pattern that can develop in any family relationship where people do not want to share their food. And if you have watched the series Friends, in Friends there's a joke where they talk about how Joey doesn't like to share his food. And while it seems like a very fun experience to as a joke, it seems like a very funny thing if someone doesn't want to share their food, but the reality is when you are wanting to build a life with someone, be it you want to build a good future life with your parents, or good life and a clean relationship with your siblings or with a partner, it's a red flag if they don't know how to share. In my childhood days, we used to have this during summer vacation time. Many a times we would end up visiting our family either during summer vacation time or during Durga Puja festival time. Occasionally we have gone and visited family. So most of our vacations, when it happened in the summer time, because it is hot summer time and it was in Kolkata, me and my cousins usually would get our grandparents to once a week or once a month, in that visit at least one time our grandfather would treat us with ice cream treats. And then when we would go for this ice cream treat, at least 3 or 4 of us, we were actually 6 cousins, but the younger brothers usually didn't used to accompany the older kids in our these trips with ice cream related fun. But most of the time at least 3 or 4 of us would gather together, and we would go to buy the ice cream. The younger kids also would get to enjoy their ice cream, but they would just enjoy their ice cream in private, because for them we would just bring the ice cream from the shop and they would consume it at home. We would get the ice cream for our elders also sometimes, so everyone at home would enjoy the home ice cream fun. Whereas the cousins who would go to purchase the ice cream from the store, all of us together would end up walking around the neighborhood finishing our ice cream first, or after delivering the ice cream at home we would just be walking around finishing our ice cream and chatting with each other and just hanging around with each other. And when we used to do this, many a times we would all get different flavors, and we would also ask that, can I taste your flavor of ice cream, because it was just a fun thing to do that. Even though we knew what the flavors in that shop was or how the flavors would taste we still used to like enjoying each other's one bite of ice cream. And think about it, if you share your ice cream, if there are 3 cousins or 4 cousins who are sharing the ice cream, all we are doing is we are taking one bite of, if I have a butterscotch ice cream and my cousin has a vanilla ice cream and someone else has a kesar pista ice cream, we are all tasting each other's flavors one bite at a time, and we are fairly doing it. None of us are really greedy kids, so we would all take a smaller chunk of ice cream and share that with each other, right? So, and this was a very normal thing we used to do. So I don't know if this girl came from a family like that. It is possible that she came from a family where she would be sharing ice cream with her siblings or her parents, and that's why for her it's a very normal thing that if people are jointly getting some ice cream together, you share each other's flavor a little bit. And while she takes a bite from his ice cream, and if he takes a bite from her ice cream, all they are doing is, it's not that the number of calories they'll be consuming will be very different, right? If both ice creams are similar fruit flavored ice cream, they're both going to have very similar calories in it. And so if she takes one bite, he can also very well take one bite from her ice cream. But he got annoyed. Now his reason for getting annoyed could be because he could have come from a family where, if he was a younger sibling or a middle-aged sibling, and they had some food insecurity in their family, maybe sharing of food was a hard thing, because possibly the older siblings would eat a lot of food and he didn't get to enjoy his food. That could be one reason. But the other reason he could not want to share is because he could be selfish, he could be narcissistic, he could be an antisocial personality. He could also be in the autism spectrum, where for him sharing an ice cream is going to be a harder job. Now, if the couple really loves each other, are not, here in this video you can clearly see that actually the girl is hurt. Even though she smiles when he starts shouting at her, while she's smiling because she wants to de-escalate the situation. She doesn't want to show her hurt to the guy because he's not ready to share his ice cream. And for her, it's a beautiful, possibly childhood memory of sharing things with siblings and parents or grandparents or whatever. It's possibly a memory like that. That's why she's wanting to share. And sharing is an important skill you should have with your partner and spouse. Otherwise, what is going to end up happening is, if you do not develop this skill of sharing with your partner or spouse, your life with your partner and spouse is going to become more and more challenging, because food is the simplest thing you have to end up sharing with your partner and spouse. After food, you share your bed, you share when you're having sex with a partner, you're sharing your body fluids. So everywhere the element of sharing is involved, because you have to share your finances with your partner, you have to share your life dreams and goals with your partner. So there are so many elements you need to share with your family. And it doesn't matter if the only difference between sharing with family and sharing with a partner is, with a partner you are having a sexual relationship, but in other elements of sharing, all other elements of sharing are usually supposed to be similar level or equitable level with other people in your family as well. So if you have a family also where, and I do indeed have families like this, that's why what I'm saying in this video, and I have had also ex-boyfriends and husbands like this who do not like to share, who have autism spectrum problems, who have mental health issues with sharing, who are financially abusive or oppressive. That's why they may have problems with sharing. I also know antisocial personalities who get triggered about sharing, or if they are asked to share, they will do the opposite, start doing a passive aggressive thing and start doing the opposite of sharing as well, because they simply do not have the sharing and caring gene, which is a troublesome thing. Because if you are now being raised by a parent like that, you will never have a good life with such a parent. If you are a woman having a partner like that and you are the sharing and caring kind, you have to decide, do you want to be in a long-term relationship with such a partner who will have a chronic problem with sharing? Because this minor hurt that she is facing in this video is going to be a more escalated hurt the many times she will keep asking him to share something that he is not willing to share, and that will result in thousands of episodes of, like if they are married for 10-20 years, in those 10-20 years they will have thousands of episodes of such unsharing episodes, where he will be shouting at her, he'll be annoyed at her, he will not want to share, he will get pissed off if she wants to share anything that he is using, which can be a very uncomfortable experience. Because when you are with a partner, any partner, and it doesn't matter the gender, like if this is happening in this video between a man and a woman, but the opposite can also transpire in a relationship where the woman doesn't know how to share and the man is expecting that the woman should be sharing and caring, but she doesn't have the sharing and caring personality type or genes or the wisdom to ensure that she will bring that into the relationship in the future. And all of this, if you don't have the wisdom, don't have the maturity, don't have the personality type, and if you are constantly and consistently going to be pissed off at your partner if they demand you to share something, it is going to lead to relationship conflict between the partners consistently and constantly, and you will never have a good merging life with them. You might be able to coexist with them, and if you're able to do it, that's fine. Like in Big Bang Theory, Sheldon Cooper, his personality has that disease type where he doesn't know how to share equitably, but people around him are shaping their lives in such a way that they give him a free pass because of his disease condition, that they allow him that if he doesn't share something, like Sheldon is very particular, right, that he has to sit in a particular chair, he has to do certain things in a certain way. So this boy, if he is also a Sheldon Cooper type personality, he may be very particular about certain things that has to be done in a particular way. But while his friends are very amenable, and even in the end, even Amy is very patient with him about his personality quirks, not every woman is designed to be like that she will be fluid around someone's personality quirks, be it a woman, be it a man. If a woman has a personality quirk that a man has to work around, or a man has a personality quirk that a woman has to work around, that working around works when both are ready to accept that I have a personality quirk and this person is doing me a favor. Because in Big Bang Theory, have you ever found Sheldon to be really annoyed or mad or pissed off at anyone if they do not do what he demands that they do for him? You will see that he doesn't have that ego. Like this boy got pissed off at his girlfriend that she wants to share the food, and he's like, I knew you were going to do this, and they possibly even had an argument after this, who knows. But whatever it is, now what is the workaround for both of them? The workaround is, for the girl, the workaround is that she has to minimize her expectations of what this husband will be ready to share with her. For him, the workaround is, if she is indeed asking to share, now some people in the comments of that video have written that my husband usually orders like 2 of everything because I like to share what he's ordering. So some men do that. They don't want to really share the whole food, so they will order 2 of whatever they are ordering, so that if their wife wants to share, she can have the second order, right? But most people don't realize that could be some, and I do know some families where I have met people where the wife is in a diet, she doesn't want to order a lot of food while going out for dinner dates, and in dinner dates, while she doesn't want to eat a lot of food, she usually ends up eating something that her husband is ordering, and a part of her husband's order she ends up sharing. Now that guy is a sharing guy, that's why he takes his wife's order, like whatever he's ordering, he knows that his wife is going to eat part of it. And many a times I have had some sharing boyfriends also. When I had a sharing boyfriend, we would share whatever he has ordered, I have ordered, we would share each other's dishes with each other, where it is an equitable thing, because we are sharing with each other one morsel of whatever we are eating, we are sharing with each other. Many a times in with Indian friends, when we have gone out for a buffet lunch, or not even buffet lunch but normal dinner, where we will order like 3 or 4 items, but we are sharing all the items. It's not that you are ordering one item for yourself, I am ordering one item for myself. When we are ordering, we have ordered 3-4 items, and 4-5 friends have gone for that dinner, So all of us are sharing all the 2-3 dishes that we have ordered, or 5-6, whatever dishes we have ordered, we do that. Sometimes I've gone even in larger groups with friends where we have ended up even sharing desserts, where let's say it's a chocolava cake that we have ordered, and we've ordered only 2 because we are too full from all the lunch that we had, and all of us were maybe diet conscious or something or the other was going on with us. So we all decided, instead of ordering like for a group of 10, instead of each of us ordering one dessert, we only ordered like 2 or 3 desserts that the whole group ended up sharing one bite of. But this thing is possible when everyone is okay with sharing, when no one has autism related problems, when people understand that the whole reason for us sharing it is because of dietary reason, monetary reason, or because we are full, whatever is the reason why we are doing it, there's a purpose to sharing. And sharing, naturally, it brings down the cost. If we do not want to order a lot of things, sharing can bring up the cost also if all of us are hungry. And then but when we are sharing, if we want to explore, like there's a restaurant where there are 3 desserts that are really fun desserts of theirs, and we want to explore all the desserts. So if 9 people or 10 people are there in the group, 3 desserts can be easily shared by the whole group. Each of us gets to taste all the 3 desserts while having only a morsel of those desserts, right? So that is the intent behind the sharing. You get to taste all the flavor profile, and you're not ending up being hungry because you have already eaten a full meal. The dessert is just the final thing. But those people who are like Sheldon Cooper, who have this autism problem of sharing, like some people do not like to share saliva. But imagine if you are a girlfriend, boyfriend, I understand if you don't want to share your saliva with your siblings or your friends, and if you're picky like that with your siblings or the friends, it makes sense. But if you are with a sexual partner and you are not an asexual person, then with a sexual partner you are already exchanging body fluids when you are kissing them or having sex with them. So at that time, if you are having a weird thing about sharing ice cream with them, that is kind of ridiculous. That is something, mentality shift that the person may have to do, but they can only do it if they do not have a strong block against sharing. It could be an emotional block, psychological block, personality trait, and in some cases some people have this very selfish personality. So if you have a selfish partner will very rarely want to share things with you. They would mostly be like, what is yours is yours, what is mine is mine. If they are selfish and still balanced in nature, they will have that attitude of what is yours, what is mine. If they are selfish and imbalanced in nature and ultra selfish or ultra gain oriented, then they will not only have this attitude that what is mine and not share it. They will also have this extra attitude of what is yours is mine as well, and they will keep taking things from you, whatever you wish to share, which makes a relationship essentially a narcissistic relationship, where whatever you want to share, a partner might willingly take from you, a family also might willingly take from you, but they will not equitably give back the same level that you are willing to share with them, which becomes a major issue when you want quality relationship, when you want deeper relationship. And it will be consistently a quality issue of evolution of a relationship, because can you ever evolve in a relationship if you don't develop the skill of sharing simpler things of life? Then how will you go towards sharing more complex things of life? Because when you're dating, at that time the level of sharing is exchange of body fluids, exchange of thoughts, exchange of time with each other while dating each other, exchange of food, right? After dating though, when you are in a married life, you have to share your home, you have to share your finances, you may have to share the time needed to do household chores, you may have to share the time needed and devote time needed to taking care of each other's parents or siblings or other social obligations. You have to share child caretaking needs. So all of these will how will you develop into evolving into all those things if you do not develop the skill to to sharing even the simpler things of life, or when sharing simpler things of life, if you find it like a demanding thing, because some people are like that. I have family who are like that. They find it like extremely their personality type is such that they get extremely agitated if someone asks them to share anything, or if they psychologically know that they are expected to share but they do not have the sharing nature. So it bothers them a lot, and this is a trait you have to teach your kids when the kids are growing up. When the kids are growing up, if they do not learn the necessary skills of sharing and caring for each other, you cannot teach that skill when the kid has turned a teenager. In the first 5 to 7 or 10 years of life, if you didn't teach these sharing skills to the kid, this kid doesn't develop it. Because I'm yet to very rarely can a person take the time to develop these skills when they are in their 30s or 40s, because I have met many people in their 30s, 40s, and I have family members in their 70s also, who do not understand this core concept of sharing and caring, even though they have been very privileged enough to have multiple people in their family life who share all their resources with them, who have shared their resources and time and energy and health to devote towards taking care of them. But sometimes some people, when they are very selfish, very narcissistic, very much just self-involved and or antisocial personalities, even if 100 people might have shared things with them, they just do not develop that skill they haven't developed that skill, they haven't understood what it means to truly share something with other people. And they do not understand that in order to build a healthy society, healthy family life, why that sharing and caring skill is an important core skill to have when you want to build a life with someone, do something meaningful in life. And you will see this is a trait that is also a problem zone right now in globally in many industries. Those industries that are failing currently, or in the past also, when any industry starts failing, when economic collapses start happening, when people start complaining a lot of about malfunctions in something going wrong in a particular industry or a way of life, or even in a family life, when families are squabbling with each other or having conflicts with each other, it is actually related to the core elements of sharing and caring where the problem zone arises. Because if you do not care about what you do, how you do it, who you do it with, the deeper elements of sharing and caring are not present in your individual one-on-one relationship, and then if at an individual level you don't have it, it also means that same thing that you do not have at the individual level, you will also not possess that same skill at a group level also when you're functioning in a group. And then from that group level also, when you don't have that good cohesive caring and sharing skill, or if you fake that caring and sharing skill occasionally, eventually your group will fall apart, your family life might fall apart, and at work life, and greater the elements of share and care being absent in the work that you do, greater is the falling apart potential of it. And basically that's why it's a core human skill to possess in order to function amicably, in a balanced way, and in a meaningful way with each other. And getting annoyed is not the problem. The boy getting annoyed with her is not the main issue here in this video. The main issue will arise when, if after getting annoyed, he doesn't know how to sort his emotions, and he doesn't understand that if he doesn't want to share with her, or even like if he doesn't understand this basic concept that if he takes one bite, like it's like a 1 teaspoon that he might share with her, right? If she takes 1 teaspoon of the ice cream from him and he takes 1 teaspoon of the ice cream from her, is he not getting the 100 same quantity of ice cream that he's consuming? He's going to get the same quantity of ice cream. So when you share, people don't realize this, but many people have this mental block that I'm giving something, but you're not understanding that sharing doesn't mean simply that you're giving something, but when you're giving, you're also getting something in return. So she's not a kind of a wife who's just saying that give me your food, give me your food, because there are wives like that also. And imagine now if this guy is dating that woman who doesn't even want to equitably share, who wants to only keep taking from him, that marriage will not last at all. If he's married to another woman who is giving equitably back, but he is the kind of guy who keeps taking from the woman, like he's ready to take a bite from her ice cream but not give her any bites, or he's not ready to think that, you know, sharing can be also fun experience. You can get to explore two different flavors at the same time. That is the whole point of sharing when you're sharing a dessert like thing or a food with family, right? That you get to enjoy two different meals. So like in our family life, when or when you're going with a family for a picnic, or when we have potlucks, when we celebrate birthdays and you're ordering 3 dishes, it could be a paneer dish, chole dish, chicken dish that you've ordered. Now if all of you are vegetarian and non-vegetarian of the same kind, then it's a fun experience for all of you to take one morsel of chicken, one morsel of paneer, one morsel of chole and enjoy it, right? Whereas, yeah, it's possible that one person loves their chicken a lot more, another person loves their paneer a lot more. So when you are sharing, the person who loves the chicken more might take 2 morsels of chicken, the person who likes paneer will take 2 morsels of paneer, the person who likes chole more might take 2 morsels of chole. But eventually everyone is getting to share a little bit of the flavor profile that is commonly being shared by the group, but which makes it more fun, because you're getting to, and which is what the point of life is, right? You get to experience life together jointly. That is how life of any kind, with your family, without your family, if you are going with strangers, or even when you are working in a professional setting, everywhere when we do work like that, when we eat food like that, when we do something meaningful like that, that is when meaning is actually true meaning arises in any of our relationships, true quality develops in any of our relationships. And so him knowing that she will want to share his food is a good thing to understand about your spouse. So that is a good skill if you know that your spouse is going to want to share. But it's a bad thing when you start judging your spouse, and instead of judging your spouse, if you had asked your spouse, why do you like to share? All of these reasons that I'm giving in this video, one of these reasons would be her reason for wanting to share. And this is also something which can become a relationship red flag if a guy doesn't want to share his finances, is not ready to share his food, is not ready to share anything meaningful about his past life or present life, is not ready to share his good things and bad things in life, is not ready to understand the women's good things and bad things in life. Because sharing also does mean that you will have to share some bad, negative qualities of each other as well. And those who are able to share the negative status of each other and handle that negativity of each other in a balanced way, then it becomes a healthy relationship. Like in chemistry, if you look at covalent bonding between different molecules, at a time when two atoms are sharing something, you will see in chemistry, in a covalent bonding, negative electrons are shared between the molecules in order to create the bond. So that sharing is the thing that keeps the chemical molecules together. So like that, while chemistry is like an inorganic thing to understand this conceptually, but if you are good with chemistry, that concept that chemistry is showing how to share is the thing that keeps a healthy relationship going. And you will see in chemistry there are covalent bonds and ionic bonds. In the ionic bonds, a positive charge stays together with a negative charge. So if the girl is always positive about sharing and other things in life, but the guy is always negative about it, while it might keep the relationship attached for a while, it will not be a healthy relationship in the long term if there is no balance in the charges, because even for a positive negative reaction to be together with each other, it has to be a balanced reaction, right? So with sodium chloride, sodium has one positive charge, chloride has one negative charge. That's why one positive and one negative are able to stay together with each other. But if let's say there were Na2Cl, Na2Cl doesn't exist. Why? Because there would be two positive and one negative, or Na1 and Cl2 also doesn't exist, two negative and one positive. So if they are in a balanced way, positive and negative with each other, they can stay with each other. But even then, the ionic bond is a weaker bond than the covalent bond, because in a covalent bond, the sharing of the negativity is there. So in this negative interaction that happens with them, where he's getting annoyed with her, she's getting hurt with his behavior, that negativity, if they bring a understanding about why this negativity is arising, if they bring a meaningful workable solution after that negativity has arisen, then they will have a good meaningful interaction with each other and a long lasting interaction with each other in their life. And these every time they are having these sharing caring related discussions where, or debates where one is getting annoyed with the other, annoyance is not a problem. It becomes a problem when it is a repeated annoyance, repeated insulting, or repeated misunderstanding of and mishandling of each other. It is not a annoying thing, or it is not a negative thing necessarily for the relationship, or it's not a red flag when both are able to understand that maybe the workaround would be to order 2 ice creams, or the workaround is that some days you set the boundary that today I do not want to share, but some other day maybe I will share. So occasionally you can share with your wife, because that way you can at least show that you're capable of sharing and actually are ready to share other things. Like maybe with food you're not ready to share, but everywhere else if you're ready to share, that could be okay also with a partner. But let's say if that will happen when the partner is really meaningfully caring about each other, then they will come up with these compromises. But if you don't meaningfully care about each other, and if you do not understand the importance of sharing, your lack of sharing will not just simply be restricted to food, but it will be related to food, it will be related to money related to buying food, it will be related to other elements of your life where the partner is just like, I just want to do whatever I used to do when I was a bachelor. So which is another problem which many women actually face in their marriages or relationships. Men do not want to grow up, they just want to keep doing everything exactly how they were doing when they were not married or they were not in a relationship, which is a problem zone in relationships, because you have to grow up, you have to change, you have to shift your life. Even if you do not want to do it, the whole purpose of having a partner in your life is because you're meant to evolve with the partner, and certain elements of your life are meant to change as a result of the partner's presence in your life. So as a result of your partner, if you're married for a while, you will have earlier when you are single, you might go drinking and boozing with your friends once a month, once a week, and it would be a normal thing to do. But why? Because you're all single, you're all not having any girlfriends, or even if you do have girlfriends, you're all young. So at that time in your early 20s, if you're boozing and drinking and partying, it's a normal thing. But if you are in your 30s, and by then majority of your friends have got married, and you're still stuck in this drinking and boozing lifestyle with either the unmarried friends or the people you're dating, you're not upgraded your life according to all the people who are more closer to your age, or more closer to what evolution in your life has to happen next. And there are so many men, that's why who get stuck in this pattern of they just want to continuously just keep dating and having sex and boozing. And while it works for you if you are ultra rich, many men can get by with doing this for many years, it doesn't give you a good quality life, neither does it bring any evolution in your life. And then in your 40s or 50s, if you wonder why am I alone, or why don't I have the good quality relationship like my friend has something that might hit you in your 50s or 60s possibly, or you get jealous of your friends who have those relationships. You how much ever you get jealous, you can't blame anyone else except yourself, because you never were ready to share your life, care for another person at the same level as with that was needed for a relationship to be functional and balanced and harmonious and love and care filled with each other. You just wanted the normal sex and that's it. So that's why, and if you are rich, it's very easy for you to just keep spending money on dating women or sleeping with women, but other than that you will not get any of the other things that are needed for a man to understand about a relationship, the deeper development that a relationship demands from a partner. All of these evolution will not happen, and it's possible that you were meant to be that single inert personality type, but the more you age, harder your life will become, more toxic your life might be, and in your next life you will have to clear the karma related to all the toxicity you brought on earth, or at the end of your life before you're dying you may have to do that. And it's same is true for a man and a woman. It's nothing different for any different gender. It's just that understand your core soul nature's needs, and what is your core soul nature's needs as a human being. Basic human being is meant to, any normal human being, absolutely normal and average human being is meant to evolve with a partner, and their life is meant to shift and change with a partner. And if the greater the higher purpose related to the relationship you are going to have, if higher the purpose is associated with your relationship, greater will be the shifts and changes that will be required in your relationship. If your relationship is just meant to be an average normal relationship, maybe a little bit of a change is going to be required out of you. But again, the more quality you bring, every element of quality that is brought in a relationship arises out of the level of sharing and caring and understanding you bring into the relationship. Now, and in this scenario where the sharing of food is there, while the woman can let go of the partner not sharing a ice cream and think that is fine, and if there's only one thing that a partner is not sharing, most women will let go, and because many women are used to these kind of selfish behavior from their partners. Because I am yet to meet a single woman in my friends group whose partners haven't been selfish with them. Not just in my friends group, but in my mother's generation, in my cousin's generation, people who married who were in between my mother's and my generation, or even in the younger generation, I do not see. Mostly men have trained themselves to be a little bit more selfish, a little bit more narcissistic, so they do not realize the level of, mostly, I'm not saying that there aren't unselfish men or there aren't narcissistic or selfish women in the world as well, but majority of the times the compromises are done by women, and many selfish choices are made and imposed on women by their partners, which women allow for it because women are told to be more meek and more accepting of multiple places where selfishness arises in their relationship. In my own life, I have had multiple places where my family is selfish with me, narcissistic with me, immediate family as well as cousins and friends have also been like that, and I have tolerated that stuff for many decades of my life simply because I was a accepting personality. But even though I was tolerating it in multiple aspects of my life related to family and friend and social groups, where and even at in work life, luckily for me, I didn't tolerate it. Where in the work life it was working for me, I stayed in those places where in work life it was mandatory for me that good equitable sharing and caring should be present, and I was lucky for at least 13 years to have that kind of a work life. Only in India I found a work life where that work life didn't manifest. Then in my personal life also, with relationships, consistently I quit those relationships where I knew equitable sharing and caring is not going to be present, especially because I was sensitive to that in a relationship. And I'm making these videos also because I'm very sensitive to all these energy signals and relationship fracturing points. Because if your family life is not great, if in your family and social circle you do not have friends who are equitably sharing and caring for you, or most of the time you are the one, you feel like the one who is giving more than what is happening in a balanced way with those relationships, it is even more important at that time to have a good relationship with your partner, a balanced relationship with your partner, especially if you want to become a parent or you have a future goal where you want to do something together with your partner. In both these kinds of lives, if you want a good parenting lifestyle to emerge with your partner, if you do not have a good sharing and caring partner, they will never be a good parent as well. And there are many women who ascribe these notion that the partner they have is a good father. But I recently saw a video of a woman where her commentary was that her partner was a very good father, but he cheated on her, and because of the cheating it was very difficult for her to get back with the partner despite counseling. And then her daughters were very much supportive of the husband and wanted her to stick in the marriage even though he was cheating on her. Now at that time, again it's a very imbalanced relationship. If your partner is cheating, obviously they don't respect you, they do not care or have any care or consideration towards you, or even possibly love towards you. So that's why if she wants to stay now away out of the marriage, her daughters were not allowing her to do it. Why? Because the daughters were possibly also amiss in their sharing and caring capacity. They are possibly selfish also, and it can happen with teens. Teens do not want their lives to be disrupted, so her teen daughters didn't want her to separate from her husband. But despite that, she separated from her husband. And even though she is saying her husband is a good father would not push their spouse to be hurt at this level. So he's not a good father. He's not set up a good example of a good father at all if he was cheating. He's not a good father if he is now manipulating the daughters in some way to insist that the mother should stay in the marriage, because that can also happen. Like parents, if especially if they have money and power, they can bribe the kids into doing certain things as well. So which is also another relationship red flag. And all these relationship red flags many a times women miss when they are dating someone. I also missed it many a times, but because my family life was so bad that I couldn't eventually help waking up to the fact that I am in an imbalanced relationship with a partner's level of sharing and caring is not equitable or not what is needed when I am falling sick. Because if say if you are a privileged girl or privileged woman who has some good siblings and good parents and good caretaking friends or good social life, at that time if your partner is not good towards you, you can fall back on your parents or siblings to help you heal. But if you do not have those good parents, good siblings, good social life, good colleagues, or anything, any of your other elements of your life are not good, or many of your other elements of your life are not good, if you do not have a good partner, then you do not have a good life at all. Then all you have is a life filled with misery of people taking from you without you getting anything meaningful that a meaningful relationship should provide to you. So you do not have a comfort net, a safety net. You do not end up having a comfortable life with anyone. And if there is no one to balance you in a right way, then it becomes emotionally draining, energetically draining, spiritually draining, karmically draining, and you will end up being like a frustrated person. You will end up being a bitter person. So if you do not want that frustration, bitterness, or the imbalance will make you fall sick as well, all of which I have experienced in my relationships with toxic partners or unbalanced partners. Like in my first relationship, the ex-boyfriend was the kind who didn't even know what food he liked to share. So I didn't have a clue what food I should cook for him, or what food we should eat together, or what food we should prepare together with each other. So with food itself we had a problem of sharing. And even if we went on dates, again with food there was this thing like most of the time there was never any equitable sharing in our relationship related to finances or food or dating life. And then when I fell sick, there was another again at that time we were both earning similar level. So because we were earning similar level, I was okay to pay more or slightly more or something. And I was not like, oh, I'm paying so much and you are paying so much. I was not comparing, but I could see there was an imbalance. But while there was an imbalance, and I tried to address that, but they didn't understand the importance of why that imbalance shouldn't occur if both are earning equally, both are doing similar kind of work. At that point of time, what happened was the testing phase of the relationship happened when I fell. I broke my ankle and I needed some caretaking at home. Even at that time he didn't help. I was having some financial distress. Even at that time he didn't help. So those were all the times where I not only he didn't help, he didn't even care to ask me what I was going through. So that it's by itself shows that that person doesn't really care about you when you're going through a challenging phase in life. So obviously if sharing is also not there, caring is also not there, equitable sharing is not there, or the sharing of the bare minimal kind is there, and then they are not even able to caretake you when you're falling sick, should that person be a good partner for you? Should you consider how much ever you love them? Should you consider staying in that relationship if you have a particular life goal about how you envision a partnership should be with a partner, right? Whereas when they were going through a tough time, I was ready to stick by them or ask them what is going on, or at least I tried to do what I thought a partner, good loyal partner, should be doing. I know I was not a perfect partner either, but I tried to at least be there for them when they were going through a challenging phase. Whereas I never felt from their end that when I'm going through a challenging phase that they were trying to be with me. Same thing, and this pattern of people not being there for me when I'm going through a challenging phase, I met this version of humanity in different people in different forms. Why? Because slowly universe was waking me up to the fact of what happened with me in my childhood as well, what was going to happen to me in my future as well if I continue trusting those people who do not care about me at a same equitable level as I care about them. So universe was preparing me via all negative relationships and toxic relationships about my future, which was a difficult and challenging future, but it is again a future you have to realize where if consistently people keep taking from you, there will come a day when you will be jobless, you might even end up becoming homeless, or you might end up having really bad phases in life where no one is equitably giving anything back to you. That is when you will realize that all these relationships of the past, how futile those relationships were, how imbalanced they were, because the time in which you really, it's in the crunch time of when you actually need immediate intervention and some serious help or some severe phase of helping, at a time when people are not around to help you, even though you might have been around to help them when they were going through their crunch times, or even though you thought that the way in which you were there with them was enough and sufficient, being there for someone, but maybe it wasn't. Whatever it is, there is a multiple reasons why people may fail to be there in your life for you. It could be they are going through their own crunch time, it could be they are selfish people, so they, all the time, all throughout your life, all they have used you for is to help them with their crunch time, but they have never reciprocated with your crunch times. So whatever it is your life lesson that will unfold for you, but it will be a harder lesson if you consistently stay with people who do not know how to share, who do not know how to care. And it will be even worse if you have any person in your life who are antisocial personalities, who don't only share or care, but they also add to your harm more than adding to sharing or caring elements in your life, because antisocial personalities do the opposite of what normal humans do. So if normal humans want to at least share, want to at least care, want to at least provide some element of sharing, caring, loving interaction in a relationship, antisocial personality, if they are also high IQ, sociopathic or narcissistic or psychopathic, they will add to your harm, add to your pain, because that is what gives them pleasure. It gives them pleasure to add to your pain, add to your harm. It gives them pleasure to control someone's finances. So that's why these red flags are very important for especially women to understand, especially those women who are going to become financial dependents. It's also important for men to understand if they become financial dependents on their women, because then you set yourself up and your family up, because it's not simply about you. Most of the time when people marry someone, they also want to have kids with them, they also want to have some future life with them, they also have these aspirations that even if they don't have kids, at least with their family and social group, some cohesive good building of family life or building of social life will be done with them. And you cannot progress into any of those zones in a good manner, in a balanced manner, in an equitable manner with anyone with whom you do not have the right caring and sharing and balanced elements of harmony present in a relationship. So women, when you're going through these phases with your partner, try to bring God also into the picture, bring your own. And many women or people who are very emotionally sensitive people, they are more prone to attract these kind of partners who know how to emotionally manipulate a person or emotionally oppress a person, because when you're more emotionally attached to someone in love, at that time they have the capacity to manipulate you also in a manner which is not healthy for you. And that's why to set the right relationship boundary with them also, it's important, because whatever you accept in the first few years of your marriage, if bad behaviors you've accepted in the beginning, it will continue as a bad behavioral pattern even later on. And if it was really a toxic behavior that is hurtful for you, it will continue hurting you needlessly, when the better choice would have been to not be in that relationship. Or if you are wanting to be in a relationship, if you could have found a meaningful, at the beginning only you had addressed the problem zone, so that you can find a meaningful resolution to those problems. But if you do not invest your time at the beginning of your relationship in addressing the challenges of your relationship, and your partner is not ready to address them, understand that you are just setting yourself up for years and years of burnout, fatigue, poor relationship, conflict-filled relationship, hurt-filled relationship, and just adding simply to bad karma with another individual, which is needless and not necessary. It's only necessary to the extent that of learning the life lesson that this relationship criteria doesn't work for me, which is what I have done. Like, while I regret the fact that I have dated a few people and it didn't work out with them, or I married someone and it didn't work out with them, I never regretted the fact that I had challenging phases with them, because in each of those challenging phases I understood that what was required to make that relationship sharing and caring and consideration felt was just a miss from those relationships. And I needed that roadmap from them to understand what will be a truly sharing and caring relationship. So this is also one reason why sometimes you will face challenging relationships in the past, challenging relationships which will hurt us, but in that hurt only is present the answer to what will not hurt us, and the answer to what will be truly caring and sharing, and how to get there either with that partner is the next stage of evolution with that partner. But if that evolution is not happening, then how to be brave enough to leave the emotional connectivity to such a person is a equally important loving lesson. Because love, while love is important to an emotional attachment to someone is important to build a relationship with them. If love is combined with disrespect, if love is combined with lack of consideration from your partner, lack of understanding from your partner about your needs, lack of willingness of your partner to address your needs or meet your needs in a way you want it to be met, those partners are not worth it. How much ever you love them or how much love is present, all you will have is a miserable life with them. And then it is your choice. Do you want to have a miserable life just because you don't want to be lonely, or do you want to have seek God's guidance and have the hope and have the faith that the deserving kind of love will appear in your life when you're ready to have that deserving kind of love, when you and if you are the kind of a person who is deserving, who is bringing lot of elements of caring and sharing in your relationships, why will you not attract another partner who will be really more balanced and more attuned with you? And in that relationship, like, because let's say this boy has autism or some problem, and you do not understand how to handle his autism, for him a better suited partner might be another autistic partner who also doesn't share food, right? So if you leave him and get away from that relationship, and for you a better suited partner will be someone who's not autistic, who will be okay to share food. Or if he's an antisocial personality, he will not only get annoyed with sharing food, he will also, if antisocial personality would now come up in such a relationship, what they will start doing is, because I've met such antisocial personality men, they will not only not share now the ice cream with you, they will stop buying your ice cream for you, they will demand that you buy your ice cream for yourself, or they will stop going out with you to buy ice creams, or they will consistently fight with you every time. Like, they know now, like, you like to share ice cream, so like, let's say you're going out in a group where everyone is sharing ice cream with their partners, they will deliberately set up a situation only that they will take you for a ice cream treat with everyone and raise your expectation as if they will be sharing their ice cream with you, and while everyone else in your friends group are sharing ice cream, they will refuse to share ice cream, or do something like that. Like, emotional manipulators and antisocial personalities who love to torture emotionally someone else or psychologically someone else will do all these. I have faced these kind of behavioral patterns with them, so I understand how their mechanism works, because they'll deliberately set up a stage so that you will have a fight with them now in that environment. Because naturally, if your husband doesn't do it for you and you assume that most men will not share, you might be okay with it. But if you see 10 other friends' husbands sharing their ice cream and your husband is not sharing, and he consistently keeps taking you to such events, then he's just been a sadistic person to hurt you. Deliberately he's taking you to such events just to show that he has the power over you to not share anything with you. So you have to be careful. These are all relationship red flags, which at the beginning, seems, when you just narrate one incident or one slice of life incidents with such people, it might seem very inconsequential. But the same thing that seems inconsequential in one narration to one friend, or one reflection, self-reflection pattern to yourself as well, that same incidents, if it is repeatedly occurring in your life again and again, and thousands of times, hundreds of times it has happened, all you are setting yourself up for is, you are setting yourself up to be abused by someone, or you are enabling your own abuse. If you have understood your partner is not going to change, partner is instead going to continuously abuse you, and be it a partner, be it a family, be it a sibling, whoever it is, whoever does these consistent patterns of understanding your personality but still not caring enough to do anything to make things harmonious with you or aligned and balanced with you, doesn't really truly care about you, doesn't really truly love you. They only love themselves more than anything else in the world. And any human who does that is not capable of being a good father, good spouse, good caretaker. And the reason why we all have spouses or want partners in our life is for these reasons. We want a good spouse, good caretaker, we want a deep meaningful love. But deep meaningful love is not a love who provides you fancy car or gives you fancy jewelry, while many women are okay with thinking that that is what a good partner is. Or a man also thinks that if they provide a house or a car and some material things to the women, that makes them a good partner. Reality is, a good partner is not that. A reality of a good partner is a partner who's able to accept you for whatever they think is flaw in you, or who's ready to also really consider you in many of their choices, who is ready to take care of you when you need it to be taken care of, and who is not consistently wanting to hurt you deliberately, emotionally, psychologically, financially, or any other way, and who is ready to provide and become a provider for you and your family in a grander scale and slowly developing scale. You can't expect someone to become a great father in the first day he becomes a father. But if he doesn't develop the capacity to develop that, that is the problem zone then. And there are people who are very stuck in life, who are very rigid in life, who do not have the capacity to evolve with their children, evolve with their spouse, evolve with the needs of their spouse and children, which is where why abuse then eventually happens in a relationship. Subtle abuse to major abuse, and subtle hurts to major hurts, subtle oppression or suppression to major level suppression and oppression. Because having challenges in a relationship doesn't make a relationship a bad relationship, but how you are able to deal with the challenges and work with the challenges, and how much care and consideration is present when you are working with those challenges, is what actually determines the long-term quality of a relationship and actually brings true meaning in a relationship. I hope this was informative. Anyone has questions, comments, wants to share your life journey here, please drop a question, comment. Thank you. Have a great day.